Hey, welcome back to Before the Lobotomy. My name is Antonio, aka Emerald X, aka Swifty Gabagool. Uh, Today's episode is brought to you by my not so well being. I decided to go in a different direction with the podcast, at least for now. They will still be short form, but more theme oriented. And today's episode is about my current health, if I could speak. So I'll start off by saying, and I'm sorry to have to do this. I'm dying. To get this podcast off the ground into the ears of everyone. On a serious note, I haven't been as punctual with the podcast as I should be, and it's because I kind of get disheartened way too often by my failures, if you want to call them failures, and it falls on me in the end for not pushing harder. All podcasts have a troubled start, though, but same with my streaming. I just feel like it was going nowhere. I had no format, was kind of all over the place. I felt like I was forcing it to be something I wasn't. But before we get any further, I just want to promote links in my description, all my links to my other channels, and my Patreon, which is $1 right now. So if you want to support me, be super helpful. If not, that's okay. Let's get on with the show. The bigger issue is my mental health as a whole, which has never been great since I was like 16 years old. Don't get me wrong. This isn't like a woe is me episode. I'm not usually like that out loud. I let it out in angry outbursts like a normal person. I do suffer from ADHD, depression, anxiety. I don't make it my whole personality. I rarely do, but it does control much of my life. So it's hard to just ignore it. I've tried many times to overcome it, and most of the time I'm fine. But most of my recent changes of medication, especially like a year ago, really screwed me up. Basically reset everything I'd overcome in the past 16 years. It was a rough time. Thankfully, I had my family to help me, but it made my anxiety just completely out of control, where I was just stuck in bed. I couldn't escape. What was happening? Panic attacks, like, I don't know, upwards of 20 times a day. I'm really surprised my heart is as well as it is, because it's not like the first time this has happened. It's happened when I was 16, then I was in my early 20s, and then once again, actually, it might have happened a fourth set of times too. I'm not quite sure. I think it happened when I had COVID, right after I had COVID. But another problem is I dissociate a lot, so it's kind of hard for me to really think things through. Sometimes the days move like blurs. It's sort of screwed my brain up in a way. And on top of just always wanting to sleep and avoid everyday life, nothing exactly gone the way I wanted. And I know it's gonna, once again, I'm not complaining. This is me explaining. It's basically, I'm just getting too old now. And my family has put up with me, thankfully, in my time of need. I'm now working, even if it's only part-time, but I want to create something I can be fully passionate about. I'm not trying to gain sympathy like the rest of these losers on Instagram and TikTok who just make their whole personality, oh, I have all these problems and you should look at me and it's my whole identity and I'm not even diagnosed. It's like, no, it's not like that. My original intention for Before the Lobotomy was just to talk about mental health, but it does get boring quick, and there's only so much you can talk about. How many times can you bitch about the same thing before even you get tired of it? Me, personally. So I'm bringing this up to let others know that shit is hard for all of us, and that this channel is here if anyone wants to talk. I'm more than happy to help others and give advice. I'm not a licensed professional, but I have enough experience with being a nutcase to give as much help as I can. I'm also using this to validate and encourage myself not to give up. I have many ideas on the horizon, and I tend to let them slip away when I could be implementing them in various ways. I want to be creative, and I keep waiting for something to land in my lap, but it obviously won't happen that way. But I plan to promote more of my content, on my gaming channel. I'm going to introduce an Instagram channel for the podcast. I have ideas for a comic strip I'm putting together, but I put the book I've been writing on hold. I've been learning uh, pyrography or wood burning, and I'm hoping to start selling some pieces on Etsy soon. Um, if anyone wants to talk, about a certain topic or want me to talk about a certain topic, put it in the comments below. I'll do my darnest to put it, on an episode, as long as it's interesting to me. Don't forget to hit those subscribe and like buttons and share with your family and friends. This is a shorter episode, so I apologize, but I'm gonna try to put out multiple episodes a week, at least two, until I can kind of get an idea of what I'm trying to do. I have a few topics picked out, and I hope you all enjoy them. And thank you all for listening. I'll catch you next time on Before Lobotomy.